Hello, everybody, and welcome to the COVID Hybrid Series, providing virtual fitness services post-pandemic. My name is Tony Maloney, ACSM-EP. First of all, I hope you're all doing very well, staying safe and healthy, and thank you for joining this video series. In this series of videos, I hope to provide you with a starter kit, if you will, of tips and strategies to provide a hybrid fitness experience to your clients and members during this pandemic crisis, as well as in the future as a staple in your programming you offer your clients. These short videos will be packed full of tips and strategies as we take a broad view of the concepts involved in offering virtual services and provide tips and strategies to start and grow your streaming options. I encourage you to continue to learn more about all of these ideas. Like many of you, I too am learning every day in how to navigate through this new virtual landscape. So consider this a starter kit as we get fired up and get going into this new landscape. So let's get started. Okay, so episode 1, adapt and adjust, and the need for virtual options. Obviously, things have changed. The world has definitely been turned upside down. So how do we adjust to what's been going on and how that change and this crisis has pushed this pandemic shift? Obviously, people are with the lockdown. People are at home, and they're really starting to find out and realize that they can train at home and it's really enjoyable. And I think we've done such a great job as an industry and as fitness pros instilling the importance and the need for exercise on a daily basis. And people are getting after it and really just want to try to find ways to continue to move. And days after that lockdown, as probably most of you saw, there was a flood of content from so many fitness professionals, and actually makes me pretty proud to be part of an industry that really just wants to reach out and help out both the people they serve as well as colleagues on how to navigate through all this change. So as we continue to look at why we need more virtual options to continue to connect with our members, is that some people are just not, they're going to be pretty fearful to return, especially to maybe fitness centers and either large or small, where there's going to be a lot of people. Obviously, people breathing pretty heavily, sweaty, a lot of surfaces. So some people they're just not going to want to return right away. So we need to continue to connect with them. Obviously, online options is not a new thing. Online training has been going on for a long time. Obviously, with this pandemic shift and the crisis, it's exploded, and the need for it is definitely increased. So as we reopen, and we're looking at these hybrid services where people that, if they do feel comfortable coming into your facility, they can do that, but they continue to find ways, or we continue to find ways to provide some content and our expertise while they're at home, and they still feel safe, but they're still getting some great expertise, some good workouts, and that's something that we need to provide on. So even as we get through this, and we will, if your clients are at a hotel or they're out of town or they just can't make it into the gym, this hybrid idea of providing these virtual services is going to be great for right now as well as in the future. So those questions that you need to ask yourself is, can you continue to provide those services right now as well as in the future? And obviously with that question, because that's one of our goals, is to continue to build ourselves as the authority in our community so we can reach more people. And can you do that? And will you be able to do that during this time? So mindset is everything, right? Do you kind of look at this as an obstacle or an opportunity? Obviously, everything's changed. Everybody's locked down. Is it an obstacle or is it an opportunity? And what are some of those virtual benefits? What's the virtual value of providing these services? Obviously, it's that continuous connection with members. We can continue to do that virtually. While we're doing that, our social media presence is going to increase, which will further our reach. That added revenue, or as it's stated here, replacement revenue, obviously, if they're not attending your classes or sessions or coming to your facility, you could view it as a replacement revenue or an added revenue to your services. I think as we look at virtual options that we can provide, I think your staff and yours as well, but the creativity of a fitness pro really increases. So there's so many different ways that you can provide the content and get it out there, and really kind of express your creativity, and make it personal, make it authentic, make it creative, and keep those people engaged. There's so many different ways that you can do that, and it's going to be it'll be a great way to keep that creativity flowing. As you're doing all this, as you're either live streaming or recording these services, this virtual training or classes, you're going to be building that video library, that library that you can use that content in the future on so many different things, blogs, other social media posts, so much stuff. So as you're providing these services, and again, all these other benefits are being done, you're adding to that library, that that repertoire of stuff that you can add into all your services later. So what are those top streaming services? Obviously, these I listed 6 here, but there may be some more. But I think these are your top ones. Obviously, group fitness. There's so many different formats that can use minimal or no equipment, and it still allows people to feel like they're part of a group. Personal training, that one-on-one connection, and again, we'll look at platforms that you can do that. So that's a great service that you can provide. Same thing with small group training, where you're still providing the training and the programming that are specific to a small group to help them reach their goals, whatever those may be. And again, depending on what equipment your clients would have access to that you can use, you can start to bring that stuff in. It's my opinion that Mind and Body is kind of its own breed of services. There's so many things that you can do there. I kind of put it on its own, but same idea. It's still a group feel, and all those great benefits that come from Mind and Body exercises and training and classes. Those are there, and I think a very popular one. And even though that you may not be with your athletes, that doesn't mean that you can't provide that sport performance training through programming and sharing those programmings or programs with your athletes, as well as all those virtual training options that we'll take a look at. And then that last one, I think a super popular one, will be a healthy lifestyle coaching. I think that would encompass your nutritional counseling, behavior change, habit forming, things like that. All right, so time for some prep talk. Some of the things, some of those questions that you really need to start to begin to answer and to start to think about, and it will kind of guide us through our series here. So some of those questions, what's the format? I mean, are you going to provide all 6 of those that we just mentioned before, or is it just one? But what is that format that you're going to be comfortable? What your strengths are in? But that's something you're going to need to decide. What platform are you going to share this information on? And again, we'll kind of discuss all those. Equipment, as both as the video and audio that you're going to need to provide these virtual training options, as well as fitness equipment. What are you going to provide? What are you going to use? What do your clients have access to? All those questions and all those things that you need to kind of get figured out before launching these type of training services. What's the environment? So the environment, the background, noises, all those things. Where are you going to feel comfortable? Are you going to do it in your facility? Are you going to do it at home? What's that environment look like? And I will be providing some resources, because again, we're learning this stuff as we go, getting better and better. So we'll talk about delivery, and then we'll finish up with some fees as well, and how you set that up, how much should it cost, and how you start to collect those things. All right, so thank you very much for joining in on episode number 1. Stay tuned for episode number 2, where we'll start diving into all those questions, and we'll start looking at that streaming success. Have a great day.